by highlighting some of your favorite moments out on the diamond. Today we're talking about game number 3 in our countdown, Giants hosting the Dodgers back on September 20th, 1989. The Giants were in first place in the National League West, and their magic number was 7. So let's see now if they can get the numbers to play in their favor as we head out to the ball game at Candlestick Park.
Alfredo Griffin will lead it off against Bob Knepper. He takes ball 1. He had 4 base hits in last night's ball game. Real productive leadoff hitter last night. He was on base 4 out of 5 times. He had 4 singles and a strikeout. There's another base hit to center field as Butler dives for it. He did keep it in front of him, and I didn't think Butler was going to even get that close to it. It looked like a routine single to center, but Butler got a good jump on it. It bounced about 4 feet in front of him. He made a good stop to keep it from going by him for extra bases. Willie Randolph's a hitter. He had 1 base hit in the contest last night. Good hit and run man. He fakes a bunt and takes ball 1. There he goes. There's a base hit to right field. Perfectly placed hit and run. Ground ball. Moving around to third is Griffin. And going to first base with a single is Randolph. I was surprised that Robbie Thompson would be covering because Knepper throws a ball that tails away from the right-handed hitter, and Willie Randolph's not a pull hitter anyway. It'd be tough for him to pull the ball on Bob Knepper, so you don't give him the easy shot at going to right field, but obviously they thought the pitch was going to be someplace else.
Well, that's usually the case where the catcher will give location, the pitcher won't throw it there.
Well, Eddie Murray hits one deep to left field. Back on the warning track is Mitchell. He makes the catch, tagging up at first, and going halfway is Randolph. Coming in to score is Alfredo Griffin. As a sacrifice fly by Eddie Murray. And I thought he hit it a lot better than he did, Dwayne. At first I thought it might go out of here, but it just got to the warning track. And Eddie's kind of saying a few things, because that's a home run in Baltimore. It's only 309 down the left field line. Here's the first pitch to Marshall, breaking ball down and in for ball 1. Marshall had 1 base hit in last night's ball game. In fact, all of the Dodger starters, except for Orel Hershiser, had at least 1 base hit in the ball game last night. Here you see Marshall's numbers, and we made a note of it last night that he drove in 82 runs last year. He's only driven in 42 so far this season. He was injured last year as well, but a little more often this year than last year.
Well, for Marshall, Joe, his 105th game this year. Usually you like to see a guy playing at least 140 by now.
Here's a pitch outside for a ball.
But you can't play, Joe, if you're hurt.
Well, that's true.
You know, that's not a knock on Marshall if you're injured. Well, you're certainly not going to go out there.
Roger Craig giving the signs to Terry Kennedy of whether he wants a pitch out in this situation or not. 2-0. Randolph's at first. The Dodgers have scored 1 here in the top of the first. They scored 2 in the top of the first last night. Knepper misses inside with a breaking ball. Now the count goes to 3-0 to Marshall. There you see Roger, and there you see the sign by Terry Kennedy. He's telling Knepper that Marshall will probably be swinging, so don't just lay the 3-0 pitch in there and hope he's taking. Still have to make a pretty good pitch, he's saying. Strike on the outside corner, and that is a good pitch. Kept the ball away from Marshall. The runner is going, and there's a pop-up in the center field. Butler drifting over toward right center, and he makes the catch. And Randolph returns to first base. 2 down. Jeff Hamilton will be the hitter.
Now this man right here, Jeff Hamilton, very quietly put together a pretty good year.
He's done very well. There's a pitch out, nothing's on. He's done a lot more than the Dodgers expected of him.
He is second to Eddie Murray in games played. Murray with 151. Hamilton with 142. So what you look at when you see the number of games that these players play, who are the guys that you can count on that stay healthy, and Hamilton has certainly been one of those guys.
Pop up on the infield. Will Clark comes in. He makes the call and the catch. And that'll do it for the Dodgers here in the first, but they do come up with 1 run. They get a couple of base hits. They leave a runner, and as we go to the bottom of the first inning, it's the Dodgers 1 and the Giants coming to bat.
When accidents happen, having AAA auto insurance turns things around for you quickly, reliably, and personably. Just the way our legendary road service can get you out of a jam anytime, anywhere. So make the right call now to request a no-obligation free quote and discover the AAA difference. Like 24/7 dependable claim service, fast AAA certified repairs, guaranteed lifetime policy renewal, up to 15% multi-policy discounts, and more. All at new lower rates. You'll also get this free AAA accident kit just for calling to get a quote. But AAA is more than just great insurance coverage. It's benefits and discounts you can use every day. When you're a AAA member, you'll save money when you dine at hundreds of restaurants across the country. It all starts here with a simple phone call.
Hi, AAA.
So call today and get a free gift when you ask about our new lower rates. And get more. Get AAA.
They say a man should always dress for the job he wants. So why am I dressed up like a pirate in this restaurant? It's all because some hacker stole my identity. Now I'm in here every evening serving chowder and iced tea. Should have gone to freecreditreport.com. I could have seen this coming at me like an atom bomb. They monitor your credit and send you email alerts, so you don't end up selling fish to tourists in t-shirts.
Offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
Why are energy drinks bad? 12 spoons of sugar? That's bad. 200 calories? Bad. Guarana? Tisk, tisk. Good for a short jittery burst, then a debilitating crash. So don't drink energy drinks. Drink 5-Hour Energy. It's not a drink, more like a sip. But with that sip, you'll feel alert and focused for hours, without the crash or jitters. It has 0 sugar, only 4 calories, and no guarana. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
And on the mound, John Wetteland, 23 years old. Wetteland's a rookie, 6'2", 195 pounds. In those last 3 starts, certainly has had his problems. He did not get out of the second inning in his last start.
This is Brett Butler's final catch of the ball game last night. And you can see he's been making a lot of dives out there in center field lately. On the positive side, he's hitting .283, 4 home runs, and 33 runs batted in. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Brett had 2 base hits in last night's ball game and a base on ball, so he was on base 3 times. Rick Dempsey goes out to talk to Wetteland.
Talked about that last start. As you see Dempsey smiling a little bit at Wetteland, probably crossed Dempsey up.
His last word was relax.
In that last start, Wetteland went an inning and 2/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts.
1 ball, 1 strike to Brett. Ball 2, low and in. Dempsey has not caught many of the games that we have broadcast, Dwayne. I wonder if he's still a breaking ball catcher or American League catcher, I would say. There's a fastball popped up on the infield. Hamilton is calling, and he makes the catch. So Butler is retired. I think that's one of the things that Wetteland may have going for him. He missed with a couple of pitches pretty badly, and then he threw a high fastball, and Brett went after it.
Well, it is a high fastball, and Butler gets underneath it, and that's usually what will happen when you approach a high fastball. Rarely will you hit on top of the ball.
Yeah, one of the things I've always wondered about, I think small guys, not, the big strong guys have trouble making contact with that pitch, but the small guys pop it up most of the time anyway, so it's a tough pitch. Robbie swings and pops one up in the shallow left field. Gonzalez is there, and he makes the catch. And there are 2 down. Will Clark is the hitter. Will's hitting .336 coming into tonight's ball game.
Kind of defeats the old theory of keep the ball down, doesn't it?
Right. I think one of the reasons that was always the thought. There's a base hit to left field by Clark as he reaches out and lines one between third and short. Kevin takes one in the dirt, and it bounces away from Dempsey, and going down to second is Will Clark. And on a wild pitch by John Wetland. Mitchell had 1 base hit in last night's ball game.
Well, Dempsey tries to keep it in front of him, kind of slid over to his right.
That wasn't even a 60-foot curveball. That's about 58 feet.
Try to get your body in front of it and then hope that you get a good bounce and ricochet.
So the Giants have the tying run at second base with 2 down. Mitchell takes a breaking ball for a strike. I would say that's an American League call, but it's happening every place now. I see more and more pitchers when they're behind in the count going to this breaking ball or a changeup, something off speed.
Well, especially to guys like Mitchell.
Right. 2-1. High fastball. Mitchell cannot check on. He tries to check his swing, but he went too far. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball again, about 58 feet, and this time it is blocked by Dempsey.
You know, Joe, you and I have talked about it before. You can hear it from other players who have faced Wetland, perhaps in the minor leagues, or you can see a scouting report, and it can be helpful, but the biggest help is getting in there, seeing what kind of fastball it really is. Is it straight? Does it move a little? Does it jump on top of you? Does he tail a little bit? And that's what the Giants hitters are looking for in their first at bat.
I think right here, if I'm Mitchell, I look for a fastball, even though he has a breaking ball, because he can't get it over, and he doesn't there. So it's ball 4. And so he draws a base on ball, and that brings up Ernest Riles, who's playing tonight at third base. Matt Williams has moved over to short, and Jose Uribe has been given a night off. 2 down. Ball 1 outside. Wetland doesn't seem to be missing that much with his fastball, but the breaking ball, he's bounced a couple, and he's thrown 1 strike out of about 6 attempts. So I think that's where I block out the breaking ball in my mind and sit on that one right there. The fastball, that's a good fastball. Right in under the hands of Riles. Fastball fouled off to the left side, now to play. And it's 1-2.
Well, Wetland was selected by the Dodgers in the January draft of '85. And then the Tigers liked him so much that they drafted him off of the Dodgers roster in December of '87 in the Major League Draft. Dodgers reacquired him on March 29th of 1988.
Low, and it almost gets away from Dempsey. So Dempsey's getting a workout here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High fastball, chopped foul at home plate again. There you see Will Clark as he returns to second base, and Mitchell back to first. They're getting their wind sprints in.
Now, the only thing that I watch Clark running back and forth, and even though it's just a minor detail, shortstops hate this because you see that second base or that man on second taking its lead, they dig up their position.
Yeah.
And you start running back and forth, and you leave some divots out there at that shortstop position.
3-2 pitch, grounded to first base. Eddie Murray will take the play unassisted. And that'll do it for the Giants here.
I'm Matt Cain, pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. For over 20 years, Project Open Hand has been serving the Bay Area. They provide meals and compassion for seniors and for those with critical illnesses.
Join Matt Cain and the Giants on Sunday, August 24th for the Plate-to-Plate 5K Run Walk at AT&T Park and support Open Hand's important work.
Fill the plates of people who are hungry by running across Giants home plate.
How do you celebrate 20 years of great ribs and good times? With more ribs from the world's best cookers and music from over 40 bands. With handmade arts and crafts, cooking classes from Southern Living's Troy Black, and the World Rib Eating Contest, August 27th through September 1st in Reno. The 20th annual Best in the West Nugget Rib Cook-Off. It's a rib-roaring good time, so book your room now.
Never before has the gecko been captured on film talking about RV insurance.
So, you guys travel a lot. You should check out Geico and get a free rate quote on RV insurance.
This is truly history in the making.
You can also get a rate quote on motorcycle insurance, ATV insurance, personal watercraft insurance.
Sounds good.
Excuse me, I'm up here.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Every man has a sexy stallion waiting to get out. Even you, sir. Set it free with a stylish cut from Supercuts. Howdy, partner. The hottest cuts, only at Supercuts, every time. You know who's got a big mouth? Your hair. Make it stop blurting out your age. In just 10 minutes, Supercut Supercolor darkens grays discreetly. Ooh, well, who's this handsome young man? Supercolor, only at Supercuts, every time.
As we go to the second inning, as the Dodgers lead 1-0, and Shelby, a switch hitter, will turn around and start his evening on the right side. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Shelby has really struggled this year. His batting average is .181, well below the Mendoza line. And he has 1 home run and 11 runs batted in. He had over 20 home runs a couple of years ago with the Dodgers. Fastball hit up the gap in the left center field. That's extra bases. Kevin will cut it off, but Shelby goes into second base standing with a double. I think that right there shows you how good a play Candy Maldonado made last night to throw Eddie Murray out, which helped preserve the Giants' 1-run victory. Breaking ball down and in, and it's ball 2 to Dempsey.
You know, I think the ball that Shelby hit a lot like the ball that Murray hit last night. Perfect throw, and you may have a shot at getting him.
Right.
But you're asking an awful lot out of that outfielder to make a perfect throw every time.
And that's why I felt last night Murray's play was a good play on his part, and today it's a good play on Shelby's part. That outfielder can't hit that bag from, 200 feet very often. 3-0 to Dempsey. He takes a strike on the outside corner, and it's 3-1. Dempsey will probably still take a shot toward right field if the pitch is out that way. Well, he takes ball 4. Dodgers have runners at first and second, no one down. They lead 1-0. We're in the second inning. Fastball grounded. Robbie was breaking the other way, and the ball goes in the right field for a base hit. Moving around to third is Dempsey, and the Dodgers lead by a score of 2-0. I don't know if Robbie had a play on or what. He started towards second base, and the ball was hit just a little bit to his left, but he could not get back in time. Well, here's the pitcher, Wetland. He's squaring around to bunt, but I think it's not a squeeze. He's just bunting the runner over to second base and put him in the scoring position, and he does that. And it's a good sacrifice by Wetland. Now they have runners at second and third with 1 out, and the Giants are going to play the infield in. I'm sure Robbie will come all the way in. The rest of the infield is already in. And Alfredo Griffin is the hitter. He's single his first at bat, and he had 4 hits last night, so he has 5 for 6 in the series. There's a fastball up for ball 1. The Giants are playing the infield in, but I would have to think that if a ball is hit back to the pitcher, they would not have to make a play at the plate. Any place else, the Dodgers may be sending Dempsey. There's a fly ball in the center field. It's going to be deep enough for Dempsey to tag up and score. And also Gonzalez tags up and goes over to third. So Dempsey comes in to score on the sacrifice fly. And the Dodgers lead by a score of 3-0. 2 down now. Gonzalez is at third. The Giants play the infield back at normal depth. Willie Randolph is a hitter. Randolph had a hit-and-run base hit his first at bat as he singled through the right side of the infield while Griffin was running. And that moved him around to third, and he scored on the sacrifice fly. There's a liner right over the glove of Nepper in the center field. Coming in to score is Gonzalez. And the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead, and out comes Roger Craig. And that may be all for Bob Nepper here in the second inning. Nepper has allowed 4 runs on 5 base hits, and he did make the wave down, so Randy McCammett will come in to pitch. Here's the first pitch to Murray, and he lines one in the right field for a base hit. Randolph goes to second and stops. The throw comes in behind him, but he's safe as he gets back in. And Eddie Murray has a base hit. And the Dodgers have hit the ball very hard tonight. As contrast to last night, they had a lot of hits in the first couple innings, but they were choppers and infield hits and little bloopers.
Now this ball is sinker away, and Eddie Murray with those long arms just jerks it into right field.
And they've hit some balls hard tonight, as I say, contrasting that to last night's choppers and little, soft line drives over the infield. Mike Marshall is the hitter. He takes a swing at a breaking ball, and it's strike 1. Marshall hit a fly ball to center field his first time up.
Well, you hate to be down this early, but you have to remember the key word is early.
Yeah, and the Giants still have 8 chances to make up the 4 runs.
And those chances being innings, not at bats.
Right. So I guess the way you look at it, they have 24 outs left. There you see Trevor Wilson on the right.
And that's Stu Tate on the left.
Here's a pitch to Marshall, grounded to shortstop. Matt Williams charges. He will have to go to first base, and he does. And he retires Marshall. But not before the Dodgers come up with 3 runs.
If your identity gets stolen, it's not easy trying to get it back. There are calls to your credit card companies, Department of Motor Vehicles, Social Security Office, and on it goes. But with Farmers Identity Shield, you'll get a personal fraud advocate to help make all those calls for you, all for just $65 or less per year. So if your identity gets stolen, you don't have to run around trying to get it back. Call a Farmers agent now, 1-800-FARMERS.
Osh and Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area are giving you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a chance to say hey to a San Francisco sports legend. Go to a participating Osh and enter the day you met Willie Mays sweepstakes, a chance to meet Willie Mays, brought to you by Osh.
Global warming is a problem.
It's a problem.
I wanted to do something to become more energy efficient.
To protect the environment.
To protect the future.
So I turned to Energy Star for help.
Energy Star is helping me be part of the solution.
Everyone can join the fight against global warming. Go to EnergyStar.gov to learn what you can do.
Together,
we can all make a difference.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area's most recent Giants game. Classic games. and tips from the pros are all available on Comcast On Demand.
Here's a hot August buy from Big O Tires. This month, buy 3 and get the 4th tire free. That's right. Purchase any 3 Tempest or Hankook Radial Max tires to fit most cars, plus a wheel alignment, and get the 4th tire absolutely free.
Well, the Giants have a little bigger hill to climb tonight. They have a 4-run deficit as we start the second inning, but on the positive side, they don't have Orel Hershiser that they have to score the 4 off of. And as Dwayne mentioned, Wetland has not done too well in his last few outings, but you can't ever count on that. Matt Williams takes low for a ball, and I think one of the things the Giants have to do with a guy like Wetland when you're down 4 runs is to be patient.
Yeah, because a 4-0 lead can make this young man a better pitcher.
Exactly.
If he has any jitters, a lot of times you look at the scoreboard, you got a 4-run lead, and you can relax a little bit.
But he is not able to control his off-speed pitches or his breaking ball, so you just have to be patient. Don't swing at the fastball out of the strike zone, but make him give you one that you can handle. And forget about the breaking ball. I would forget about it because he's not able to throw it over the plate. Here's a 2-1 pitch. He threw it over the plate then. I would have still taken that.
Well, you can see how the Dodgers obviously love this guy. He fits the mold of the types of pitchers that they look for. Young, good arm, good build, strong legs, and he throws hard.
And they can teach him the other things. Well, see, that's what happens. You chase the breaking ball. Because he's not throwing it for a strike, you end up chasing one. And Matt goes down on strikes.
Well, Matt's going through one of those spells that he went through prior to his trip to Phoenix. And pretty simple, and I'm sure Matt Williams realizes it. He's just chasing breaking balls that are out of the strike zone.
Well, he was hitting the ones in the strike zone when he first came back, and he's proved to himself and to most other people that he could handle it. But if you don't get a strike, you're going to have problems with it. There's Terry Kennedy chasing the fastball and not catching up to it.
You know, watch Wetland. He almost jumps at you when he releases the ball. He actually leaves his feet. Now, of course, he didn't do it that time. But it almost looks like he recoils after he throws the ball.
1 strike to Kennedy, 1 down. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Fastball fouled down the left field line and out of play. And the Giants are trailing by a score of 4-0. But I think you see what happens, though, when you have a veteran catcher like Rick Dempsey. Goes to the fastball, tries to get him ahead so that maybe they will help him out by chasing the breaking ball. There's a smash to Eddie Murray off of the breaking ball, but Murray makes the put out unassisted. Kennedy hit it very hard, but right at Murray. My point of saying that he gets out in front, you will usually chase a breaking ball with 2 strikes. With no strikes, you don't chase a breaking ball too often. So if you're not throwing strikes with the breaking ball, you try to get ahead with the fastball, and then it'll help you out by chasing the breaking ball occasionally. And you can see he started each hitter off with the fastball other than Matt Williams.
Well, he can especially afford to do that, Joe. Like I said before, when you're leading 4-0.
Right. Change up, different pitch. He has not thrown that in the first inning, but he comes back with a good changeup. Changeup again popped up as Sheridan just reached for it with one arm, one hand, and no one can get to it. So the count's no balls and 2 strikes. And here again, as Dwayne mentioned, when you get a 4-run lead, you can start to relax. He didn't throw a changeup in the first inning. Now he's using all of his pitches. There you see Dempsey giving chase to the foul ball.
Well, in some cases, Joe, relaxing is not good, but I think in a rookie's case it is.
Pop up on the infield side, on the right side of the infield, I should say. Willie Randolph waits for it. And that'll do it as the Giants go down 1-2-3 here in the second inning.
be extraordinary. At Fry's Electronics, where selection and savings await you. Get this 22-inch widescreen LCD monitor just $199.99. Western Digital MyBook external hard drive only $97. And this Sony USB stereo turntable just $129.99. And remember, your best buys are always at Fry's. Guaranteed.
eHarmony asked a lot of questions in the questionnaire.
My partner's energy level, I mark that as very important to me.
And one of the ones in particular that I found interesting was finding pleasure and contentment in simple things.
Are you romantic? Are you stubborn? Are you shy? Vivacious, rational, trusting?
How far are you willing to search?
It was the first time anyone asked me that, though, whether I was self-aware.
With our in-depth questionnaire, we get to know the real you, so we can match you with other singles based on compatibility. Log on today and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
When accidents happen, having AAA auto insurance turns things around for you quickly, reliably, and personably. Just the way our legendary road service can get you out of a jam anytime, anywhere. So make the right call now to request a no-obligation free quote and discover the AAA difference, like 24/7 dependable claim service, fast AAA certified repairs, guaranteed lifetime policy renewal, up to 15% multi-policy discounts, and more, all with new lower rates. You'll also get this free AAA accident kit just for calling to get a quote. But AAA is more than just great insurance coverage. It's benefits and discounts you can use every day. When you're a AAA member, you'll save money when you dine at hundreds of restaurants across the country. It all starts here with a simple phone call.
Hi, AAA.
So call today and get a free gift when you ask about our new lower rates. And get more. Get AAA.
Now the guest, Joan Ryan, and McCammon facing Jeff Hamilton. Joan Ryan, columnist for the San Francisco Examiner. Welcome, Joan.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Certainly hasn't been the first time you've been here, but it always is enjoyable when you do decide that you'd like to sit in with us.
Bet you say that to all the girls.
Matt Williams to Clark. Hamilton retired, 1 out. Here's John Shelby with 1 out. Shelby doubled and scored to lead off the second inning. McCammon on the mound replacing Bob Knepper. And Shelby tries to lay one down, and it's a strike, 0-1. Jones been covering a lot of different areas for the Examiner. Football, baseball, basketball. And I'm sure that this is the time of the year when you get the opportunity to do a lot of columns on the different sports that certainly are going on in the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is the most fun time of the year, especially when we have two teams that are contending in an independent race, and with the 49ers coming off a Super Bowl, you know, there couldn't be a better time for a sports writer.
What is your favorite sport to cover, or should I do it two ways? What is your favorite sport?
Baseball is definitely my favorite sport.
All right, what is your favorite sport dealing with the players or the athletes?
Still baseball, but I think that's because we're a little spoiled here in the Bay Area. We have two very good teams with good front offices, and they're real easy to deal with. I don't know if you'd find the same answer if I lived in another city. Right. But, you know, being a Bay Area sports writer, definitely baseball.
Well, that's why I asked the question. Some of the places I've gone, I've heard different stories. Some guys like baseball more, but they love covering the athletes for football, or vice versa.
Full count to John Shelby. And Shelby goes the other way and drives the ball between Riles and Matt Williams. Shelby now 2 for 2, a double and a single. And the single comes with 1 out here in the third inning. Here's Rick Dempsey, Shelby the base runner. Shelby has 8 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 6 times. Dempsey walked and scored in the second inning. That's the inning. The Dodgers put 3 runs on the scoreboard. 4-0. Dodgers leading. Pitch misses to Dempsey. 1 ball and no strikes. So one of the columns that you wrote, Joan, a baseball column about the return of Bob Brenly. And it really was a magical moment when Brenly came in, started national TV, came up with a double.
That's right. Yeah, I tell Bob that whenever he does anything in a game and I have an opportunity to write about him, it's like getting a day off. You know, I just hand him my notebook and he fills it up. He's wonderful.
Certainly an easy guy to interview and very quotable.
Absolutely.
Shelby goes, and Kennedy cannot get the ball out of his glove. Stolen base number 9 for John Shelby. 1-1 to Dempsey, and that's high and tight. In my conversations with Bob Brenly, he basically has said he really has no interest whatsoever in staying in the game. Now that doesn't mean that 3 or 4 years after you're out of it, you don't get the taste back.
Trouble is, it's hard to get back once you leave sometimes.
You usually get back when a friend becomes a manager,
right,
or becomes a part of a front office somewhere. I really have always felt that Brenly would be a great guy to be in the business that we're in the broadcasting part of it.
He'd be terrific. I mean, I could see him as another Tim McCarver. I think he has the same sort of sense of humor. He remembers every anecdote he's ever heard. He has mentioned, though, coaching on the high school level, that would be something he'd be interested in.
Well, travel certainly a lot less at that level.
Yeah, the money's not as good, though.
3 balls and 2 strikes. McCammett to Dempsey, and Dempsey draws a walk. Dodger base runners at first and second with 1 out, and that will bring up Jose Gonzalez.
John, one of the things that I believe in, and I've talked to Dwayne about this on several occasions, is that a manager in the 90s has to be different than the managers in the past. I consider guys like Cito Gaston, Tony La Russa, I think, is a man for any time. But I think, meaning that we're going to have younger managers that can deal with the players a little better, can understand the players, and maybe have a little better relationship with the players, other than say do this, do that, and whatever, because the players of the 90s don't have to do that anymore because of their contract situations and all the money that they make and the guaranteed contracts. And I think it takes a special manager to be able to be both disciplinarian, friend, and also say we're in this together type of manager. And I think the young guys are the ones that are going to have to do that. The Art Howells, I should mention, and Cito Gaston are 2 guys that come to mind for me. Do you think that it's going to take a different manager, or the players are going to have to adjust?
You know, you see the Roger Craigs and the Sparky Andersons, and, you know, they're from the different era, but they seem to relate to the players pretty well. Maybe it's more just a personality thing than a generation thing.
Well, I personally, you know, just my opinion, I think it's a generation thing, because the values or certain things that you're taught, like Roger Craig when he came into the game, even Sparky Anderson or myself, are really not obsolete, but they're just not as prevalent today as they were before. About the things you think about the team first and yourself second. That's not always the case, and I don't blame the players because there's so much money at stake now, whereas in the past, you know, that was the only way to get a raise.
But I'm not sure that the manager should still stress all those values.
Well, Matt Williams keeps it on the infield. That'll keep Shelby from scoring. It'll be an infield hit. And now the bases are loaded for John Wetland. Al Wetland with a sacrifice bunt in his only at bat. That came in the 2nd inning. And here on the pitch inside, he tries to hold up. Just to go back a little bit, Joe, talking about managers, you know, it really still all goes back to the acquiring of young players in the minor leagues and their development. You know, it's a lot easier for a manager to manage a player that has proper development in the minor leagues once he gets to the big leagues. Grounded, fair, and down the left field line. Shelby scores. Here comes Dempsey, and they're going to wave Gonzalez. He's going to score, and the pitcher, John Wetland, clears the bases with a stand-up double. Dodgers now lead 7-0. And with that, Roger Craig is going to come out and make the pitching change.
He's also going to make a double switch, Dwayne, because he went to the umpire first. So someone else is coming out of the game, and it's the right fielder, Sheridan.
And Jim Weaver is going to go in to replace Sheridan. Stu Tate will be facing Alfredo Griffin.
And I think it's because he's making his first major league appearance. So that's what it is. They were yelling Stu.
Well, here's his first big league pitch.
And he'll remember that. He threw a fastball right by Alfredo Griffin.
And the folks right now trailing 7-0 at Candlestick are going to have some fun with Stu Tate. And that's in the dirt. And I mean fun in a good way.
Well, I'm sure that makes Stu feel good, especially coming in the situation against the Dodgers.
Stu, 40 years from now, will say, you know, to his grandkids, 50,000 people were in unison going, Stu. Fastball down.
But it's a little low, but it's a good one.
2 balls and 1 strike to Alfredo Griffin. John Wetland, the base runner at second base, 1 out. Dodgers scored 1 in the first inning, 3 in the second, and 3 here in the third. 7-0 lead. And swinging and missing is Griffin. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him. Tate strikes out Griffin for the second out.
And he gets a standing ovation here at Candlestick Park.
Here's Willie Randolph. Randolph with a pair of hits and 2 at bats. And Tate loses this one in the dirt. And Wetland is rounding third, and he's going to hustle back as Kennedy chases it down. Wild pitch, allowing Wetland to go to third.
Well, you can see it's a breaking ball in the dirt. Kennedy tries to get over in front of it, but when the ball hit, it really spun back to his left, and it just got a piece of him instead of hitting him in the chest, and it bounded away.
1 ball and no strikes to Willie Randolph. Randolph last night 1 for 5. And Randolph fouls it back. Count is even, 1-1.
We mentioned it last night, Dwayne, about how the second basemen have done, meaning Willie Randolph, who came over from the Yankees, and Steve Sax, who went to the Yankees, and both of them have had excellent seasons. Sax has done a little more offensively, and I saw in the paper the other day that he may win a Gold Glove. They're touting him for that over in the American League.
Willie Randolph drives it into center field. Butler turns around. He's on his horse, and he makes the catch. But the Dodgers come up with 3 runs here in the third inning, and they lead 7-0.
Introducing the Polaris Sportsman Touring. In both comfort and versatility, the Sportsman Touring dominates the competition. Compare the seat padding of the Sportsman Touring to its competitors. The Can-Am has only 6 inches of padding. The Arctic Cat, even less, while the Sportsman Touring has a huge comfort zone with a class-leading 7.6 inches of padding. Nothing comes close to Polaris when it comes to storage capacity. The Arctic Cat holds 36 golf balls. The Can-Am, 107. The Sportsman holds 485, 3 times as much as the other 2 combined. The world's toughest ATVs. Up to $800 in rebates and as low as 2.99% APR on select Polaris vehicles. The Polaris Power Play Sales Event. Get great limited time savings at your participating Polaris dealer.
Watch this. Hey, Sling Dog! Yo!
Looking for a quick lunch?
How about Chili's? Welcome to Chili's.
Pepper in a quick break with Chili's Bottomless Express Lunch. Dig into our famous house-made chips and salsa. Enjoy our hot, tasty soups like chicken enchilada and choice of Caesar or house salad with unlimited refills. When you're starved for time, it's the perfect meal. Chili's, pepper in some express lunch, pepper in some fun.
Get the ultimate toolbox, a Tough Shed Sundance Series building exclusively at the Home Depot. Legendary Tough Shed quality and the convenience of Home Depot. Call, click, or visit, and Tough Shed handles the rest. Installing your shed where you want so you can create the backyard of your dreams. Right now, get free paint on Sundance Series sheds, plus 6 months, no payments, no interest financing with your Home Depot consumer credit card.
The Tough Shed Sundance Series.
Exclusively at the Home Depot.
Well, we played 3 here at Candlestick. Dodgers with a run in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third. Murray pops out to Butler in center field. That's the first out here in the 4th inning. Here's Mike Marshall. And Marshall now steps out, and they're complaining about something.
Oh, now the umpire says turn off the scoreboard. See the white on the Giants vision? That's the problem. Jumbotron, I'm sorry. Got Giants vision on the brain. But it's a white background, as you can see. The Dodger sign is in white. The Dodgers in blue over it, right there. It doesn't look as white on your television screen as it is. Actually, it just seems like a big light if you're in the batter's box. But it affects the left-handed hitter more than it does the right-handed hitter.
0-2 to Mike Marshall.
It's interesting, Ripley waved for him to turn it off. It's still on, and he hasn't made another motion.
Well,
you can see it there.
That's why I'm thinking that maybe that wasn't it.
I think that's what Eddie was upset about, because we thought it was Bruce Froemming they wanted to move, but I think it was the light on the scoreboard.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Dodger cleanup hitter. Giants trailing 7-0.
It's an interesting pitcher there.
And Marshall goes down swinging. Strikeout number 2 for Stu Tate.
We're going to look, and as I mentioned, I think he's a power pitcher, and I think you can see right there that he really is. I think his fastball is his best pitch, and he had some giddy up even down low. I said it was a good pitcher before. We showed Rick Dempsey sitting next to rookie John Wetland and talking to him in between innings, trying to keep him relaxed and let him know exactly what he wants him to do when he goes back on the mound. A lot of times you do not see pitcher and catcher sit together on the bench.
In the dirt to Hamilton. 1 ball and no strike. Tate, 27 years old. 6'3", 205. He was the number 8 selection in June of the 1984 draft. And there's the high fastball. And yes, sir, Terry Tate said he went around. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And this is his wedding anniversary, I see here.
Well,
Boy, what a big day for this guy.
John, question here. Do you ever go to a game and sit out in the stands?
Never.
So you only get the game from the press box perspective, which is not really a real good perspective in most cases. It's okay for what you do, writing a story, but about there you see the Astros have taken a 7-6 lead in the 14th inning against the Braves.
This is the Weaver in right field, and he will make the catch. 3 up, 3 down here in the 4th after 3.5. Dodgers leading the Giants 7-0.
Are you interested in an exciting career? Then the Office of Sheriff of Contra Costa County has a job for you.
Northern California's premier law enforcement agency offers over 25 career options and promotional opportunities.
Enjoy the excitement. Be a part of our team.
Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com for the Big O Tire Sports Blog. Exclusive content about your favorite teams from our announcers and other columnists around the Bay. The Big O Tire Sports Blog, only on ComcastSportsNet.com.
Grand slam to win it.
Big dreams and good grades aren't enough to get into college. There are actual steps you need to take. Finding someone who can help is the first and most important. For the next steps, go to knowhowtogo.org.
Fry's Electronics. HD broadcasts on Comcast Sportsnet are exclusively presented by Fry's Electronics.
What do you call Californians installing 400,000 energy-efficient cooling systems last year? The fight against global warming has just begun.
Welcome back to Giants Classic Games. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. The Giants quickly fell behind 7-0 to the Dodgers on September 20th, 1989. San Francisco managed just one hit off of John Wetteland. The rookie was the starter for LA that day, but made the transition to the bullpen the following year and finished off his career as a closer. But let's see now how he handles the Giants in the bottom of the fourth.
Clark fouls it at home plate. Will Clark single in the first inning is the only Giants base hit. You look at the line score, it looks a little strange. 7-9-0 for the Dodgers, 0-1-0 for the Giants.
For a team that has not hit well all season, the Dodgers have come in here the last 2 days and put a lot of hits on the board.
Here's the 0-1 to Clark, and he swings and misses. 0-2. See Will losing his balance after he swung through the pitch. And he went after the high heater.
As I've said before, if Will has a weakness, it is the high fastball. But that's the weakness of a lot of hitters.
And Clark fouls it out of play. The count stays the same at 0-2.
But it has to be a good high fastball. You have to have good velocity on it in order to throw it up there.
Kevin Mitchell on deck for the Giants, followed by Ernest Riles. Wetteland to Clark, and he took a little off, and Clark out in front grounds it to Randolph. He'll go to Murray, 1 out. Play will go 4-3, and Wetteland retires Clark. Clark now 1 for 2. That'll bring up Mitchell. Mitchell walked in the first inning. Kevin last night a hit in 4 at bats, his average at 292. You know, Joe, one of the things about guys that hit a lot of home runs, there are usually a few that will tack on a lot of home runs in games like this where it's 7-0 on a lopsided game, whether you're winning or losing. You really can't say that about Kevin Mitchell.
No, most of his have helped.
His home runs have tied a lot of games and have given the Giants leads. There you see the RBI leaders in the National League. Guerrero now 1 over Clark in second place, and Mitchell fouls this one down the right field line and out of play.
I think the most consistent season I've ever seen for a power hitter was the one George Foster had, I think 1977 or 8. He had 52 home runs, drove in 150 runs or whatever, but he was very consistent. I don't think he had games where he hit 2 home runs or more in a game, but maybe once or twice, you know, and he just hit 1 today, 1 tomorrow. He was just very consistent because he had 198 hits also, I believe. So he was very consistent. And looking at Kevin Mitchell, he's done basically the same thing. He has not, like you say, gotten well or added on to his statistics in games that were way out of reach.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Mitchell. And there's a base hit to left field, hit hard. Gonzalez tracks it down, and Kevin Mitchell with a 1-out single.
Joan, do you vote on any of the awards? You have to have, what is it, 10 years or something?
I'm not sure how many, but I know I don't have it.
Yeah. I think I've heard you have to have 10 years. I don't know for sure either before you get a chance to vote on most valuable player, rookie of the year, Cy Young, or whatever. Do you look forward to doing that?
No.
Why
no,
not?
I don't. You know, I've told other people this too. You know, when they say, "Well, who do you think should get MVP? Who should win Cy Young?" You know,
Yeah,
I got enough decisions in my own life to start making decisions for somebody else.
Yeah, but it's going to be yours at that time.
That's true. Well,
That'll be your vote.
Maybe by that time I'll want to.
Yeah. I mean, being honest with you, I would like to vote. I don't have, obviously, I'm not a sports writer or whatever.
You got an opinion on everything, Joe. So
Right.
I could
But
see
I'd like
why
to
you'd
vote.
want to do that.
Yeah, I'd like to vote.
Here's Riles, 0-1 count, and that's off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. I think it's especially difficult this year for any of the writers or people in the media to have to make a decision between Clark and Mitchell. And to take a stand, you'd almost feel like you're going to offend the other player. Riles down the left field line and out of play.
I think the one thing that has normally happened is that the slugger in the most valuable player award voting usually gets the nod, because a slugger is special, I guess. Not that a batting champion or a guy that hits 340 is not, but a slugger is more devastating. You know, he kind of, all of a sudden you're down and all of a sudden now you're ahead, and I think that carries a lot of weight normally, but I'm not here again.
Riles hits it well to right field, but Marshall looks like he's got a beat on it. He does, and he makes the catch.
Could you see them both getting it? There's been precedent for that.
No, I don't see that.
Well, I think if it were a panel of judges, they'd probably work it out so that they both could win it. But when you start going by a point system, boy, you're talking about things having to fall exactly in place for someone to come up with.
I guess it's only happened one time in the National League. That was Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell tied, you know, were co-MVPs. When they were co-Cy Young Awards in the American League, I remember Mike Cuellar and Denny McLain. It's like Dwayne says, using the point system, it's almost impossible to come up with the same point total, I would think.
Unless they do get off to the side and say, all right, we're going to work the points this way.
Yeah, but that does not happen, does it, Joe?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Your vote has to be in, actually, I guess, before the season is over, the way I understand it. So the playoffs have no bearing on what happens. And I think that's fair, because if a guy is in the playoff and the other guy is not in the playoffs, it's not fair if this guy has a good playoff and the other one doesn't, because it's not his fault, so to speak. So I agree with that position.
I think the interesting thing is if you asked Mitchell who he would vote for, I guarantee he'd vote for Clark. And if you ask Clark, he'd tell you that he'd think that Kevin Mitchell should win it.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that both of them have had MVP-type seasons, but unfortunately there is only one MVP in the league. And I think the thing that I look at is, you look at Kirk Gibson's numbers last year, and he was an MVP, and you look at both of these guys, it's kind of almost a joke.
And of course the irony is that neither one of them would be having the season they're having without the other.
True.
2 balls and 1 strike to Matt Williams. 2 down. Mitchell, the base runner, at first. And Matt chops it foul. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tough loss for the Chicago Cubs today. Philadelphia beat them 9-8. Von Hayes hit his 24th home run. Sutcliffe was the starter. He was not involved in the decision. Lancaster took the loss. Harmon the winner, 5-15. 21,000 at Wrigley Field. And with that Cubs loss, the Cardinals win. They are now only 3 back. Here's the 2-2, and that's down and away, full count. Take a look at that line score in this game, Joe. Dun, dun, dun,
no, that's unbelievable.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was only a 9-inning game.
There it is.
18 hits apiece. Wind must have been blowing out at Wrigley.
Matt Williams goes down swinging. Second time that Williams has struck out. The Giants strand 1 here in the 4th.
If you plan on building, furnishing, or remodeling your home, or you're just tired of paying retail, don't spend another dollar. Now, you can enjoy an incredible selection of top quality name brand products priced up to 50% less than retail. Take the first step towards saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars on nearly anything for your home. Call for your free Direct Buy Insider's Guide to Buying Direct and learn what retailers don't want you to know. Each full color page of the Insider's Guide is packed with powerful information. Discover some of the hundreds of thousands of products available from over 700 name brand manufacturers. Everything, including furniture, cabinets, appliances, flooring, lighting fixtures, and so much more, all without retail markups. At Direct Buy, you can't afford to miss this valuable opportunity. Call the number on your screen now to get your own Direct Buy Insider's Guide. You'll also receive a visitor's pass and map to the Direct Buy showroom nearest you. The sooner you call, the sooner you'll be buying direct. So call now.
Why are energy drinks bad? 12 spoons of sugar, that's bad. 200 calories, bad. Guarana, tisk tisk. Good for a short jittery burst, then a debilitating crash. So don't drink energy drinks. Drink 5-Hour Energy. It's not a drink, more like a sip. But with that sip, you'll feel alert and focused for hours, without the crash or jitters. It has 0 sugar, only 4 calories, and no guarana. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
Their BMW didn't make it home. But they did. Winner of a 5-star crash test rating and a top safety pick award. Take advantage of 0.9% financing now through September 2nd.
Welcome back to Giants Classic Games. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. The Giants are trailing 7-0 to the Dodgers back on September 20th, 1989. But they did receive a lift from longtime minor leaguer Stu Tate, who came in to pitch 2 2/3 scoreless innings in relief. But now, can the top of the batting order back him up? We'll find out as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Brett Butler is 0 for 1, popped out, and he walked in the 3rd inning. You see, for the 7th straight year, Butler has topped the 150 hit mark. 3-1 now. There's the line score we're talking about. A run in the 1st inning, 3 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. And Butler draws a walk. Brett hesitated, thought it may have been a strike, stuck around long enough to find out for sure that it was a ball. And he strolls down to first. 2nd walk for Butler. And here's Robbie Thompson.
Dwayne, we got a report on the reason Jeff Hamilton left the ball game. He had stiffness in his right shoulder.
Robbie 0 for 2. Flew out to left field and then hit into a 6-4-3 double play. And that pitch misses 1-0. Well, the one thing, of course, Wetland does not want to do, and that's start walking people, start issuing free passes. And if the Giants can do some damage, one thing they'd like to do is cut into this lead so that when they work themselves around the batting order once again, they could have a shot at least tying the game.
Well, I think that's what the Giants have to look at, trying to get one, a couple here, a couple there, and then, you know, take a shot at them in the 8th or 9th.
Thompson taking 2-0. Well, there's the leaders in triples in the National League. Thompson with 11, Clark with 9, and then it's Coleman and Bonilla. So the Giants 1-2. Actually, 3 players tied for that 2nd spot. 2-0 to Thompson. And Robbie taking all the way. It's 3-0. With that, there's action down in the Dodger bullpen. I recognize John Tudor on the right.
Mike Horton. No, that's Mickey Horton. Mike Horton. Well, he must be a rookie. Horgan. Now you see Dempsey's going to take as much time out there as he possibly can, and umpire Steve Ripley starts out to break up the conference, and Dempsey comes back behind the plate.
So I think it's Mike Morgan.
Thanks, Grady. I'll make enough mistakes without you adding one to it.
Here's a 3-0 to Thompson, and that's a call strike. Yeah, Grady Lever, AD, and a good one.
Yeah, he gave me Mike. First it was Horton and then Horgan. I mean, his spelling tonight, you know, I don't know what he was looking at.
Typically, we would mention him after he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
Call strike 2 to Robbie Thompson.
I know Mike Morgan.
There's Grady.
That's the guy that made the last mistake. I know Mike Morgan. I don't know Mike Horgan. I said it must be a rookie. Yeah, right.
Full count to Robbie Thompson. Being an AD is like being an umpire. You don't notice them until they blow one. Here's the 3-2, and it's ball 4. Ball gets away from Dempsey. Butler will round second, and he will stay right there. So Wetland now has walked 2 in a row, and here come Ron Peranowski. And this is the slow walk by the Dodger pitching coach.
Yeah, I think they're giving whoever they want a little more time in the bullpen. There's Morgan on the left and John Tudor on the right. I don't think they would use Tudor. I think Morgan would be their choice unless he's going to come in, maybe only pitch to one hitter. But they're going to leave Wetland in the ball game.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to see that Horgan guy.
Yeah, I want to check him out too. And Lasorda's probably thinking about putting him in as well. Yeah, there you see.
Mike Morgan. Here's Will Clark facing the youngster, John Wetland. Clark 1 for 2. A single, and he grounded out to second, and on the first pitch he fouls it back. Giants have won 13 of their last 19 ball games. They have had to play at that rate because of the great play by the San Diego Padres. Padres certainly not slowing down. All they have done is gone into Cincinnati and taken the first 2 of that 3-game series at Riverfront. Here's the 0-1 to Clark, and that's a call strike. 0-2. So Wetland couldn't find the plate to Butler, and Thompson quickly out in front of Clark.
This is a good pitch right on the outside corner. You see it tail away from Will. Not a pitch that Will could jerk out of the ballpark.
Here's the 0-2, and Clark loops it to left field. But Gonzalez in his tracks makes the catch. 1 out. That'll bring up Kevin Mitchell.
When you get a look at Will here, I think he gets fooled a little bit by the speed of this breaking ball. It was up in the strike zone. Yeah, you can see he starts to go forward a little before he normally does, and he tries to take it the other way. But I think his bat speed slowed down and the curveball got on his hands a little bit.
Mitchell swings and misses. 0-1. Kevin 1 for 1. Walked in the first inning, singled in the fourth. Mitchell league leader in home runs and RBIs. Batting average at .293. And that's in the dirt. Both runners will advance. So the Giants now an opportunity to get on the board with a sacrifice fly. Ball just got away from him, Joe.
It's another curveball, and you can see it bounce off to the right side of Rick Dempsey, and by the time he gets his glove out there, it bounces away. So just as they say, you're a major league wild pitch. One thing he has done is they've been bouncing there to breaking ball. That's the only pitches that have really gotten away from him tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Thompson at second, Butler at third. Giants trailing 7-0. Ernest Riles on deck for the Giants. And Mitchell takes his pitch down and away. 2-1. Mitchell this year against the Dodgers, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. See, Kevin needs 2 home runs for an even 100 in his career. And Mitchell taking again, and it is 3-1.
That was an unusual pitch there, in that the count was already 2-1. He has not been able to get the breaking ball over, and he goes with it again. And now it's 3-1. So I think a lot of times pitchers will tell you you'd rather throw the fastball 2-1 rather than throw it 3-1 to a slugger.
Here is the 3-1, and Mitchell hits it off his fist. Lenny Harris will let the run score. The play will be at first. Thompson moves to third, And the Giants on the board. Now 7-1 Dodger lead. Mitchell with RBI number 121.
So the wild pitch not only keeps the Giants out of a double play situation, but also gives the Giants a chance to get on the scoreboard.
Here's Riles. Riles 0 for 2. And he takes the first pitch, 1-0. Matt Williams on deck. Matt having struck out twice in 2 at-bats. And Riles hits one deep to right, and this baby is gone. Home run. 7-3. Home run number 7 for Ernest Riles. And for that home run, Budweiser will donate $100 to SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving, in the name of Ernest Riles.
Riles is a good fastball hitter, and I think what has happened is Wetland's fastball has lost a little bit of its pop, and he gets a fastball here about bell tie, inside part of the plate, and he really drives it out of here. The ball's a home run from the time it leaves the bat. And the Giants pick up 2 more, so now they trail by a score of 7-3, and that's exactly the way you want to do this. Get a couple here, a couple there, and they still have they have 10 outs left, which is score 4 runs. They have 3 more innings plus the remaining out in this inning.
Well, as I mentioned, Joe, the more you hit, the better opportunity you have of getting back to the top of the order for the Giants, and certainly they would like to do that more than just one more time.
Right.
Now Wetland taken out of the ball game. Riles with the smile in the Giants dugout, and the new pitcher is Mike Morgan.
Well, we'll get another look at it. He picks his leg up pretty high. That's a pretty high leg kick, but he opens his hips very well, gets the bat through the hitting zone with a lot of bat speed, and he hits it into the football bleachers. Now, I've seen a lot of guys raise their legs higher now than before. I don't know. And usually you see that in the American League because of the off-speed pitches and the breaking balls. I remember, guys like, I guess, Cecil Cooper and some of those guys used to do that. They lean back on their back leg, and then raise their front foot as they went in. And we're going to get a look at Mike Morgan.
Well, how about this Sadahara O guy?
Yeah, that guy used to do pretty well with it.
I mean, he used to just balance himself basically on his back foot, which would have been his left foot.
And they threw a lot of off-speed pitches in Japan, I'm told. Mel Ott, of course, is probably the most famous American hitter that used the leg lift.
But I suppose it goes back, Joe, what Will Clark said. You can do a lot of things, but when you get through that hitting area, basically everybody should do the same thing.
Well, there are things that have been known to be successful when you get to that point, and other things that are hit and miss, so to speak. I don't think there's any one way that you have to hit a baseball, but like he says, you have to try to get yourself in a certain position to get the bat through the hitting zone.
Call strike to Matt Williams, 0-2. Matt Williams, it appears, has been looking at 0-2 all night. 2 down. Giants have scored 3 times here in the 6th inning. And that ball is down in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And I tell you what, Rick Dempsey is saying, why can't these guys throw a 60-foot 6-inch curveball? All these 58-footers are going to kill me back here. He's taking a lot of balls off the mask, off the chest, and he's chased a few back to the screen. All off the breaking ball.
1-2 to Matt Williams. And Matt goes down swinging for the 3rd time. The Giants 3 runs here in the 6th inning. After 6 complete, it's the Dodgers 7 and the Giants 3.
Hey, Mike! How's it going?
What's that?
My new toys! And the sweet protection plan I bought for them.
It's all cleared. There's an easier way to protect your stuff? Call Geico. They can help insure all your vehicles.
Geico Power Sports. Insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Call Geico.
Remember when a good guy just had to be able to build shelves? Yeah, well, let me tell you, those days are long gone. You need a good look, my man? Why don't you try a new cut and color at Supercuts? Oh, hi! Have we met? Supercolor, only at Supercuts. Every time. Liking people just for their looks is bad. Unless you're the one looking good. Stylish cuts. Only at Supercuts. Every time.
Get a 2-for-1 ticket to an Oakland A's game every Monday with a haircut at any Bay Area Supercuts location.
There's a world outside every darkened door where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and great snacks coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
All these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all
Welcome back to Giants Classic Games. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. After a 3-run 6th inning, the Giants have pulled within 4 runs of the Dodgers back on September 20th, 1989. But can they pull off the W in the final 2 innings? We find out as they turn to yet another new arm in Trevor Wilson.
0-1 to Rick Dempsey. 1 ball and 1 strike. Joe and I talking between innings. Difficult choice when you look at the MVP for the American League as this ball is popped on the infield. Ernest Riles taking charge, makes the catch. Dempsey retired, and that'll bring up Jose Gonzalez. To look at offensive players, and obviously a lot of guys having good years, Joe. Just having, you know, you look for the player that has the good batting average, you know, a lot of home runs and RBIs, and you're looking for one guy that is sharing a lead in all 3 of those departments. And you really don't see it. And then you start looking for players that are playing on winning teams, and that eliminates a lot of players as well. So, you know, it may come down to one of the pitchers winning the MVP.
That's a good point. I think that the MVP should be for a player, but I'm prejudiced in that case because I think the Cy Young is for a guy to, you know, for a pitcher to win.
Gonzalez pops out to Butler, 2 down.
All right, I think you've done enough of my inning now. I just wanted to let you get even with me since I've taken most of yours throughout the year. I'll let you did the first 2 hitters. Now that'll probably make us even for the year. I'll finish it up.
All right, well, I got the first 2 out, so.
Okay. No, but I look at a guy like Robin Yount, who has done well in just about all the categories that you're talking about. He's in the top 10 in batting average, RBIs, and et cetera, and he's a pretty good defensive center fielder. So he may be one of the guys that they'll have to look at, because you look at McGriff on a winning team, he's got home runs, but he doesn't have the RBIs. That was a swing and a miss by Anderson, and it counts no balls and 2 strikes. Anderson is batting here for Morgan, and we'll see Jay Howell, I'm sure, in the 8th and 9th for the Dodgers. Low with a breaking ball, and Trevor kind of bounces off the mound. He looked like he got his spike caught as he released the ball. There you see him limping a little bit. And Will Clark and Terry Kennedy go out to check on him. Says he's okay, he just caught his spike in the dirt.
Well, watch Wilson. Yeah, he slipped a little bit and then goes down to one knee. Well, in the National League, Joe, I think it'll be Mark Davis that'll win the Cy Young.
Right, I agree. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Matt Williams charges. And the Dodgers go 1-2-3 here in the 8th inning. And after 7.5, it's the Dodgers 7 and the Giants 3.
Representative will be with you in 4 hours, 10 minutes.
Get your identity stolen? You'll spend day after day on the phone getting it back with calls to the bank, credit cards, the Social Security office, and on it goes.
Please continue to hold.
Fortunately, there's Farmers Identity Shield. For just $65 or less per year, your credit is monitored.
Thank you for holding.
Plus, a personal fraud advocate helps make all those calls no matter how long it takes. So make only one now. 1-800-FARMERS.
Osh and Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area are giving you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a chance to say hey to a San Francisco sports legend. Go to a participating Osh and enter the day you met Willie Mays sweepstakes, a chance to meet Willie Mays, brought to you by Osh.
To come back in that game and to have it such a dramatic way to happen with Joe hitting the home run at the end, to finish the season with the fans just going bananas and looking over on the other side. And you know, some of those guys are real good friends of mine in the Dodgers. And always, you know, we played against them. I know them personally. Maybe I shouldn't have gloated so much, but I'm glad I did. But, you know, you're looking over there and just going, you know what, now you know what it feels like.
I respect my sport. I play by the rules. I honor my opponents. Integrity is found in competing fairly. The only fair sport is clean sport. I strive to win. I give my all. I compete clean because real athletes play fair.
There you see Jay Howell. He's a new Dodger pitcher as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning and the Giants trail 7-3. Jay Howell, there you see, leads the Dodgers with 26 saves and a fantastic earned run average, 1.18. And he's got a 5-3 1-loss record.
Now, the last time we saw Jay Howell basically threw nothing but breaking balls.
Dwayne, it's kind of interesting, or maybe Bob Leary wouldn't think so, but there's only 23,507 here for a Dodger game, which is unusual because the Dodgers usually draw no matter what the situation is. But with the Giants battling for a pennant, you would think that maybe the combination of the two would draw more than 23,000 fans.
Well, I think some of the fans in the Bay Area think that it's over.
Well, there are a lot of people in the area that think that it's over, and I guess since we're players and we've seen teams lose leads, you can't say it's over. Like Yogi says, it's never over till it's over. And so I think maybe we should wait a little bit before we say the A's are going to be in the playoffs and the Giants as well. I mean, there's no doubt that if you're going to put any odds on it, you'd have to, you know, say the Giants and the A's are favored, but anything can happen in the next couple of weeks. Brett Butler will lead it off as the Giants are trying to make up a 4-run deficit here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Butler is 0 for 1, but he does have 2 bases on balls, and he did score a run for the Giants in the 6th inning, and he takes a strike from Howell. There you see Butler's nickname, Bugsy. Fastball hit hard but foul outside of first base. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes to Butler.
Well, Giants tagged Butler with that because of the wide brim hats that Butler would wear on the road trips. And they came up with Bugsy, and as usual, it stuck. And I'm sure that Mike Krukow had a lot to do with it.
0-2 pitch, fastball hit high in the air in the right center field. Shelby is calling, and he makes the catch. So Butler is retired. And it'll be Robbie Thompson. He'll be followed by Will Clark. Thompson's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He did have a base on balls, and he also scored a run in the 6th inning. He scored ahead of Ernest Riles' 2-run homer. Strike by Jay Howell. Kind of interesting when you see a guy like Howell. He comes in and he tries to make sure he gets out in front. First pitch fastball, first pitch strike. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes to Robbie Thompson.
Well, I think the guy that's the best at that I have seen in the last couple of years is Dennis Eckersley.
Right.
He will get ahead of you, and then he'll bury you.
There's a fastball over the outside corner, called strike 3. You could see the target given by Dempsey was for a high fastball, maybe an 0-2 waist pitch. There you see the high target.
Well, Howell chose to throw it about 6 inches to a foot below the target, and he got Thompson looking.
That may have been a case where he was trying to hit the glove and missed. Will Clark has 1 base hit in 3 attempts. Fastball fouled down the left field line and out of play. Will came in trailing Tony Gwynn by a point. Gwynn went 1 for 4 in Cincinnati, and Will is 1 for 3 here.
And if you're wondering, is there anyone that could sneak up on Clark and Gwynn? No.
Yeah.
Lonnie Smith is hitting .315. He's 3rd.
There's a high fastball popped up on the infield. Lenny Harris is calling, and he makes the catch. And so the Giants go quietly again here in the 8th inning.
When accidents happen, having AAA auto insurance turns things around for you quickly, reliably, and personably. Just the way our legendary road service can get you out of a jam anytime, anywhere. So make the right call now to request a no-obligation free quote and discover the AAA difference, like 24/7 dependable claim service, fast AAA certified repairs, guaranteed lifetime policy renewal, up to 15% multi-policy discounts, and more. All at new lower rates. You'll also get this free AAA accident kit just for calling to get a quote. But AAA is more than just great insurance coverage. It's benefits and discounts you can use every day. When you're a AAA member, you'll save money when you dine at hundreds of restaurants across the country. It all starts here with a simple phone call.
Hi, AAA.
So call today and get a free gift when you ask about our new lower rates. And get more. Get AAA.
I'm Matt Cain, pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Got him. For over 20 years, Project Open Hand has been serving the Bay Area. They provide meals and compassion for seniors and for those with critical illnesses.
Join Matt Cain and the Giants on Sunday, August 24th for the Plate-to-Plate 5K Run Walk at AT&T Park and support Open Hand's important work.
Fill the plates of people who are hungry by running across Giants home plate.
How do you celebrate 20 years of great ribs and good times? With more ribs from the world's best cookers and music from over 40 bands. With handmade arts and crafts, cooking classes from Southern Living's Troy Black, and the World Rib Eating Contest, August 27th through September 1st in Reno. The 20th annual Best in the West Nugget Rib Cook-Off. It's a rib-roaring good time, so book your room now.
Alfredo Griffin will lead it off for the Dodgers in the ninth. Griffin is 1 for 3 in the ball game with an RBI and a run scored. He swings and misses at a fastball down and in. Griffin has struck out his last 2 times to the plate. For the Giants in the ninth, it'll be Mitchell, Riles, and Williams. Here's a pitch outside, and it's 1-1. Trevor Wilson pitched well in his last outing. There's a check swing on a high fastball. Well, if you're looking forward to the rest of the weekend, or tomorrow night and then the rest of the weekend, Ramon Martinez will pitch for the Dodgers tomorrow. His record is 5-3. There's a liner to shortstop. Matt Williams makes the catch, and there's one down for the Dodgers here in the ninth. Ramon Martinez will go for the Dodgers tomorrow evening. He'll be opposed by Kelly Downs. Martinez is 5-3 and Downs is 3-6. On Friday, the Houston series will have Portugal going against Scotty Garrelts. Portugal is 6-1 and Scotty Garrelts is 14-3. And there you see the stat that the Dodgers have not scored since the 3rd inning. In fact, they haven't had a hit since the 3rd inning, but they did enough damage in the first 3 innings to build up the 7-0 lead, and the Giants have come back with 3. On Saturday afternoon, it'll be Mike Scott, 20-game winner against Rick Russell. That's at 1:05. And on Sunday, it'll be Rick Rhoden going against Don Robinson. Rhoden is 2-6. Don Robinson is 12-10, and I believe Sunday's game will be telecast by Dwayne and Hank and Ron on KTVU.
They'll still school out to find out if Don Robinson is going to be healthy enough to pitch that game.
Ground ball to the right side. Robbie backs up on the edge of the grass, and he throws Randolph out. And there are 2 down for the Dodgers in the ninth.
And the one thing you do not want to see is one of your top starters like Don Robinson have to miss more than 1 start, especially down the stretch. Don Robinson has won a lot of big ball games for the Giants, and any game from here on out would be considered big.
Eddie Murray will be the hitter. Murray has 1 base hit, and he's driven in a run. And he grounds it to 3rd base. Riles backs up, throws him out. And that'll do it for the Dodgers in the ninth.
Dare to leave the ordinary and explore the extraordinary at Fry's Electronics, where selection and savings await you. Get this 22-inch widescreen LCD monitor just $199.99. Western Digital MyBook external hard drive only $97. And this Sony USB stereo turntable just $129.99. And remember, your best buys are always at Fry's. Guaranteed.
Imagine what a well-tailored suit can do. Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Hey, Bill. How's it going?
What is that?
It's my new bike and the amazing protection plan I got for it.
There's an easier way to protect your motorcycle. Call Geico. They insure all types of vehicles.
Geico Power Sports. Insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Check it out, gas prices blowing up sky high. Ditch my used subcompact for a 2-wheeled ride. Now I'm rolling eco-friendly, but I still look bad. When the bike store saw my credit, they said this was all they had. I'm singing F to the R to the E to the E to the C to the R to the E D I T. Free to the port to the dot to the com. Come on, everybody, grab your bike and sing along. It's easy F to the R. Offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
Kevin Mitchell will lead it off for the Giants. Kevin has one of the 3 base hits. He also has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly, which was his 121st run batted in. Will Clark led the National League with 109 last year. Kevin Mitchell has hit 45 home runs, which is the most since Willie McCovey hit 45 in 1969 for a Giants player. Jay Howell trying to finish it up for the Dodgers. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back by Kevin. Howell gave him a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and Kevin had a very good rip at it.
Well, Howell throwing more fastballs than the last time we've seen him. Of course, that was a ball game where he pitched about 4 innings in extra innings. In a tight game, he went to his breaking ball.
Fastball up and in. They check with Terry Taylor at first base. He says no swing. And it's 2-1. Ernest Riles is on deck. He'll be followed by Matt Williams. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep to center field. Going back, looking up. It's gone. For Kevin Mitchell, that's number 46, an RBI 122. I'm sorry. It's his second RBI of the ball game. So he surpasses Willie McCovey's 45 in 1969.
And that 46 home run for Kevin Mitchell, Budweiser will donate $100 to SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving, in the name of Kevin Mitchell.
And Ernest Riles is a hitter. He takes a strike on the outside corner. And the Giants have narrowed their margin to 7-4 on Kevin Mitchell's 46th home run. Breaking ball, and it's high for a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Mitchell's home run was measured at 417 feet. So that means it went 17 feet beyond the 400-foot barrier in center field. And the fans get back into the ball game. Strike 2 call as Jay Howell throws another fastball. There you get a look at Kevin.
Well, it's a pitch down and just a bit on the inside part of the plate. Shelby goes back, and this ball lands 1 bounce and up into the grass behind center field.
Breaking ball hitting the hole. Base hit to right field. So the Giants start a rally here in the bottom of the 9th inning. They trail by 3, so the tying run is in the on-deck circle.
Well, Riles just hits it between Eddie Murray and Randolph, just beyond the outstretched glove of Willie Randolph. Giants need to get 1 more guy on, and then they've got the tying run at the plate. Right now, the tying run is in the on-deck circle.
Jay Howell is on facing Matt Williams. Matt has struck out 3 straight times in the ball game. Fastball hit high and deep to right center field. And it's off the fence, the bottom of the fence. Coming around to score is Riles. He better hurry. The throw is over Dempsey's head. And Riles comes in to score. And Matt Williams ends up at second with a double. And it's a 7-5 ball game.
Well, Joe, the Giants put a little dent into the ERA of Jay Howell. And Matt Williams goes the other way. Thought for a minute this ball was going to get out of here. Marshall over his head. Shelby with a good play off the fence, and then Willie Randolph's throw over the head of Rick Dempsey. Otherwise, they may have had a shot at Ernest Riles.
There you see Matt Williams going the other way on the fastball. I think Matt thinks it's out of here too. But it's a double, and it does bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Terry Kennedy. Everybody thought it was out of here, actually. And it goes as a double and an RBI. And the Giants are rallying with no one down here. They only trail by 2 now, and Terry Kennedy's in the batter's box. And Jay Howell throws ball 1. So we've had a home run by Kevin Mitchell leading off the 9th. We had a single by Ernest Riles and a double by Matt Williams. Here's the pitch by Howell. Fastball, base hit to right field. They're going to wave Matt Williams around, and it's a 7-6 ball game. And Terry Kennedy is on it first.
Well, the Giants made believers out of a lot of people with that game in Cincinnati, where they came back to win 9-8. Here you see Kennedy driving home Matt Williams. Now the Giants trail by 1. Nobody out, tying run at first. And Kennedy once again ripping it in the hole. Be a pinch runner.
Mike Benjamin goes in to run for Terry Kennedy at first. There you see Kennedy getting congratulations from his teammates. And Jay Howell is going to depart.
Why are energy drinks bad? 12 spoons of sugar? That's bad. 200 calories? Bad. Guarana? Tisk, tisk. Good for a short jittery burst, then a debilitating crash. So don't drink energy drinks. Drink 5-Hour Energy. It's not a drink, more like a sip. But with that sip, you'll feel alert and focused for hours, without the crash or jitters. It has 0 sugar, only 4 calories, and no guarana. 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no crash later.
At eHarmony, we match you with other singles based on compatibility. And the best part is, you can review your matches absolutely free. Aren't you curious to see who you'd be matched with? Log on and review your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
Thanks. You believe this guy?
Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry. Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area's most recent Giants game. Classic games and tips from the pros are all available on Comcast On Demand.
Here's a hot August buy from Big O Tires. This month, buy 3 and get the 4th tire free. That's right. Purchase any 3 Tempest or hand-cooked Radial Max tires to fit most cars, plus a wheel alignment, and get the 4th tire absolutely free.
You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
Welcome back to Giants Classic Games. I'm your host, Kate Longworth. The Giants have rallied back to score 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th on September 20th, 1989. With San Francisco just 1 run away from tying, the Dodgers have turned to a new pitcher. Mike Hartley will face the Giants pinch hitter Chris Spire with no outs as we finish off the 9th.
Spire around the bunt, and he takes a strike, and it's 1-1. The Giants came into the bottom of the 9th trailing 7-3. Kevin Mitchell led off with his 46th home run of the season. Ernest Riles single. Matt Williams hit a double to drive him in. And Terry Kennedy singled to drive in Matt Williams. And we're at 7-6 right now, and Mike Benjamin is pinch running for Terry Kennedy at first base. Ball 2 outside, and it's 2-1.
Well, Joe, it looks like the young right-hander throws hard. Mike Hartley looking at those minor league numbers. Last year in San Antonio, 45 innings pitched, he struck out 57.
That sounds like he's a power pitcher. 2-1 to Chris. There goes the runner. There's a liner to right field, but it might be caught. No, Mike Marshall misses it. The ball gets away, going to second. They're holding him up at third, but he almost ran through the side, Mike Benjamin. And Chris Spire goes into second. If Marshall would have made the catch, they had a cinch double play at first base because Benjamin was going on the hit and run. But he was not able to come up with the catch, and the Giants have runners at second and third.
Well, Marshall makes a great effort. He comes in, he dives for it, and the ball kicks off his leg and then rolls a long way away from him. And because of that, there was some thought about sending Benjamin. And you can see right there, here he comes, and Fahey holds him up at the last minute.
Now they have first base open, so Roger Craig calls Mike Laga back because they think if they send him up to hit, they may walk him intentionally. So now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Trevor Wilson. Greg Litton is going to come up to pinch hit. The Dodgers have John Tudor warmed up in their bullpen. Now they get Tim Cruz is the only one throwing down there, number 52. Well, Tudor is still there. And I guess Tudor would come in to pitch to a left-hander if the situation dictated it. And out comes Ron Peronoski again. They've got to decide here whether to walk Litton to put a force out at any base or to go ahead and pitch to him and try to get him out.
Gutsy play, Joe. Take off the bunt, put on the hit and run.
Well, I think, as we mentioned, Chris Spire is the guy you can do that with because he's a veteran and he's been in this situation before. And he knows what he's supposed to do, and he does it again as it's a double off of, well, I guess they're scoring it as a single and an error. I'm not sure. I see an error on the board now. I don't understand how it can be a single and an error when the guy made a diving attempt, but nevertheless, Chris Spire is at second base. If you dive for the ball, if you don't catch it, it's got to be an error all the way, or it's got to be a base hit all the way. And he did not kick it after the single, after the ball hit the ground. Well, the Dodgers are playing the infield in on the right, and I guess they're going to go pitch to Greg Litton. He swings and fouls it at home plate. It's kind of a dangerous play as far as the Dodgers are concerned if you play the infield in, because it cuts down the range of your infielders. And if the ball goes through the infield, the winning run could score. But that's the way they're playing it. Halfway on the right, and I guess a little less than halfway on the left. There you see Chris Spire. He would be the winning run at second base. Mike Benjamin is over at third. Breaking ball in the dirt, and I guess I was wrong. They did not give Chris Spire a single. It was an error all the way, Dwayne. A diving attempt in right field by Mike Marshall has scored an error all the way. And that's unfair, first of all, to Chris Spire, I think, because he did the job. And I thought, reading the rule book, it said any ball that cannot be handled with routine effort should be scored as a base hit, and that was definitely not a routine play for Mike Marshall in right field when you have to dive for a ball.
That'll be changed.
Well, it should have never gone up that way. 1 ball, 1 strike to Greg Litton. Inside, they check with Terry Taylor down at first base. He says no swing. And the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a play. Mike Marshall is diving for it, and they score that as an error. I don't quite understand that. That is a very tough play to make. And in fairness to Mike Marshall, he came in to try to make the play and
smother it.
And smothered the ball. That was a good play. It's a base hit all the way, in my opinion. 2-1. Base hit to left field. The tying run will come in to score, but because it was hit to the left side, Chris Spire had to hold up, make sure it went through. And the Giants have tied it with 4 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they have the winning run at third with no one out.
Well, for the folks that stuck around, they are really enjoying this 9th inning. Giants have tied it up.
What do you think the San Diego Padres are saying about now?
Well, the Padres, I'm sure, watching the scoreboard. Obviously, their game finished a long time ago. But I'm sure a few of them still trying to find out what is happening in this game. And you take a 4-run lead into the 9th inning, you got to figure things are going to work pretty good, especially with Jay Howell on the mound.
And a 1.18 earned run average.
Well, Joe, no sooner did you said you play the infield in and you start taking some risk. And in this case, that ball may have been cut down if the infield were playing back.
Well, the ball would not have gone through the infield. There you see Spire backing up. He had to make sure the ball went through, because if Griffin would have been able to catch it, he would have had a play on him at third. But if the infield was back, I guarantee you this ball does not get through the infield, because it was hit off the fist. It was a broken bat, and Griffin would have been able to make the stop. He may not have been able to throw anyone out at first base, but it would have kept Spire from going to third. And there you see Tommy Lasorda behind Bill Russell, the coach, and he is very upset because the Dodgers have blown a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 9th inning. John Tudor comes on to pitch for the Dodgers, and the situation here, the choices that they have, Brett Butler will be the hitter. One of the choices is to go ahead and walk Brett and load the bases. But then you have a right-hander in the person of Robbie Thompson coming up. But I think personally you have to walk him because you have a force out at any base if you do that. But with John Tudor on the mound, they may feel like he can get Butler out. So it'll be just up to what the manager feels in this situation. John Tudor, no wins, no losses, 3.14 earned run average. He's only pitched 14 innings, 14 and a third. Well, the Dodgers look like they're going to go ahead and pitch to Brett Butler. They're playing the infield all the way in. And the outfield has come in very shallow as well. Here's the first pitch to Butler, breaking ball, called strike 1. Sidearm curveball, slow curve from John Tudor to Brett. Brett does not have a base hit in tonight's ball game. He has 2 bases on balls, and he scored a run. We're all tied at 7 in the bottom of the 9th. The Giants have the winning run at third base with no one down. The runner at first doesn't matter in this situation. Breaking ball, and the ball game is over. Brett Butler hits one down the right field line, and the Giants come back to win it in the bottom of the 9th by scoring 5.
Well, Joe, you really can't give up. And the Giants proved once again that if you can stick it out, put a bunch of hits together, you got a chance to come back and win the ball game. And I can't believe the way this team has done that as many times as they have in 1989.
There you see Rick Dempsey. He was behind the plate when all this happened. But there are a lot of heroes in the Giants dugout tonight. None more important than Brett Butler, as for the second time in this last week, he's driven in the winning run with a base hit in the bottom of the 9th.
there's no way to hide it. If you drive drunk, we will find you. Cops everywhere are stepping up enforcement and cracking down like never before.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight? Sir, have you been drinking this evening?
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
Make no mistake, you will get caught and you will be arrested. Over the limit, under arrest.
My best friend and me. My best friend and me. He's really smart. He's really funny. He sells bikes and he saves people money. My best friend. My best friend and me.
Geico Motorcycle. Let's ride.
When looking at luxury cars, ask yourself this. Does the car you're looking at offer 4 years of maintenance at no cost? Only one does. BMW. You pay nothing to maintain your BMW for 4 years or 50,000 miles. Nothing. That's zero. Isn't now the time to get into a BMW? Take advantage of 0.9% financing now through September 2nd.
Osh and Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area are giving you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a chance to say hey to a San Francisco sports legend. Go to a participating Osh and enter the Day You Met Willie Mays sweepstakes, a chance to meet Willie Mays, brought to you by Osh.
When state officials call a Flex Alert, that's your signal to immediately save as much energy as you can. For tips, visit flexyourpower.org.
Fry's Electronics. HD broadcasts on Comcast Sportsnet are exclusively presented by Fry's Electronics.
The Giants' ninth inning rally on September 20th, 1989 helped spark a first-place finish in the National League West that season. The Giants went on to claim the league pennant and advance to their first World Series since 1962, opposite the Oakland Athletics. I'm Kate Longworth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Giants Classic Games.
Boston Red Sox uniform, but thanks to Giants management, he is here tonight and is retiring, and before a rigorous pregame workout, he chatted with Amy Gutierrez.
Well, thanks, John and JT. It's a big day for you today. You're going to retire as a Giant, and you've played with several teams in your career, so why is this home for you?
Well, I think just because I spent 9 years here, I think I kind of grew as a player here. A lot of respect for Brian Sabean, who drafted me out of college when he was with the Yankees and ran their minor league system. So just played on some great teams, played with some great teammates, and this was a good spot for me.
Yeah, and the Giants do such a wonderful job of celebrating the players who have been in this organization, and they actually approached you. Tell us the story.
Yeah, Brian called me into his office last homestand and said that they had planned to do this, and I tried to talk him out of it. I was very humbled by it. I didn't know if I deserved to have a retirement day or anything like that, but he said it's something they want to do, and he said it was because after the 05 season, I went to Boston for half the year and then ended up getting released and coming home and starting to do some work for the Giants in the front office, and something that he wanted to do, Peter McGowan wanted to do, and with the 50-year thing, was, I guess the timing was right. So I tried to talk him out of it. I'm very humbled by it. I didn't ask for it, but he said it was something I couldn't say no to, so I'll go out and enjoy it.
All right, and you said in the press conference that you wanted to play ball until you were 40. You came up a couple years short, but looking back on your career, how satisfied are you personally? I know the fans think everything you touch turns to gold, but for you personally, how satisfied are you with your accomplishments in the game?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons I had such an easy time of walking away. I never thought I would play professional baseball in the major leagues till I was 38, and play 13 years and 5 in the minor league, so 18 years total professional baseball. You're getting paid to do something you love to do and play baseball. I never expected it, but I just took it 1 year at a time, and 1 year turns into 2, and then 2 turns into 5, and before you know it, 5 turns into 10, and it helped that I played on some good teams here, some winning teams with some good players. So if I was younger, would probably still keep trying to play, I guess. But I was satisfied. I'd had enough. It's time to let turn it over to the kids and try and help them out.
You've had a good run, and we've seen it continue this year. You've been an instructor. You've joined our broadcasting team. What does the future hold? Will we see you coach, maybe manage?
Probably do some more of the same next year. I enjoy the broadcasting. It's fun. I love giving insight to the game, to the fans. I also love being down here in the dugout with the players. There's nothing like being in the clubhouse. I had a chance to go on the last road trip to Arizona and LA, and just being around the guys. And it's a tight-knit community of us players. And I love working with the younger guys. I went down to Fresno and San Jose this year, and these minor league guys are so eager and so willing to listen and learn that it's fun to give back. And because as players, we don't know everything. It's just when we get out of the game, we know everything. So yeah, so it's fun. A little bit of the same, maybe some more next year, and we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks, JT, and good luck today out there. All right,
thank you.
Let's go back to you, John.
All right, Amy, certainly one of the best first basemen ever to play in San Francisco, 6 times a Gold Glove. But who are the Golden Greats? Who did you pick to be the best players at every position in 50 years? The Golden Greats' final results next.
And you responded in force. With your help, we were able to narrow down favorite Giants of the past 5 decades. And now it's time to take a trip down memory lane and unveil the ultimate roster for 50 years of Giants baseball in San Francisco.
Okay, I'm just going to throw 4 names at you. Willie McCovey, Orlando Cepeda, Will Clark, JT Snow.
What is the most inspirational player on the team award named?
I do know that, Michael. It's the Willie McCovey Award.
I think it's a no-brainer. As great as those other guys are, I'm just saying the overall package, the star power that Willie Mack brought, the legacy that he left, his impact on the record books, I think it's a no-brainer.
He's the most beloved Giant in San Francisco Giants history. I'd even say ahead of Mays. Nobody beats Stretch. Third base, the hot corner. Okay? There have been some good ones through the years. I think I have in my mind my leading candidate.
Yeah, no doubt. Matt Williams. I mean, there's no question about it. He's another part of the Hum Baby Giants. You got to like these kids.
What's better in baseball than a guy with soft hands and home run power? I mean, that's the guy who you pay money to see.
Yeah.
That's the guy, and number 9 was that guy. He had great moments as a Giant.
Best defensive player at his position, best third baseman in San Francisco Giant history.
We skew towards number 9. Third baseman, Matty Williams. Second base used to be, you field the ball, you hit a little bit, you just turned a couple double plays, and you're good. It changed entirely in 1997 when Jeff Kent came and turned into a monster at the plate. So is it a runaway that Jeff Kent is the greatest second baseman in Giants history?
Because I think he was the best Giant second baseman since they've been in San Francisco. But Robbie Thompson, again, going back to those Hum Baby teams, I think he's really somebody that Giants fans will have a hard time not picking as their all-time second baseman.
Robbie Thompson and Jose Uribe were a huge part of the success of those 80s Giants because defense such an underrated part of the game. And like Will Clark, a lot of clutch hits through the years. So Robbie is, as we've acknowledged, huge heart favorite. So Robbie, we love you. Jeff, we respect you, right? That's what we'll leave it at. When the Giants comes to shortstops, you know, we've talked about great first basemen, great outfielders. It's not a position overly loaded with Hall of Fame talent in Giants history.
It's a very tough call. There have been guys like, I mean, we can start with Omar Vizquel on the current team. He's one of the best shortstops of all time, but can we put him as the all-time Giant shortstop because he's only been here a few years? Very difficult to do that.
And here's a guy we got to consider out of Alameda, Chris Spire. And Chris Spire came with tremendous attitude, too, to the Giants. He was very cocky, but that's what was good about him. I think you need to go with Chris Spire as the Giants' all-time shortstop. 50 years, is it fair to say that pitchers would be among the weakest positions in Giants legend history?
I don't know. It's tough to say that position-wise, pitcher is a spot of weakness. I mean, you have to start with Juan Marichal. Hall of Famer, Dominican dandy, the signature wind-up, the leg kick, the statue out by McCovey Cove.
A Hall of Famer, seal it, lock the deal, everything. So we're going Marichal top of the rotation.
Absolutely.
Right? When you think about great Giants catchers through the years, the list is not Hall of Fame.
It's just not that exciting, but there have been some great ones. Bob Brenly is a forever Giant. He might get my vote.
He also won a Willie McCovey Award, which is a huge thing because that means he meant a lot to his teammates, and he was part of those 80s Hum Babies Giants. So for me now, in my head, it's coming down to Brenly and Manwaring. But when it's all said and done, if we're just going to go sentimental, I think you're right. I think we might have to go with BB.
Yeah.
Bob Burnley, number 15. All right. As far as Mays and Bonds go, I just wanted to say this about them. And you know, Willie Mays is commonly considered the greatest who ever played the game. Bonds, as great a hitter as Mays was, those who watched him said he wasn't as good a hitter as Bonds. And Bonds, as good a base runner and defensive player as he was not as good a base runner and defensive player as Mays.
I feel robbed that I didn't get to see Willie Mays play. You know, my father got to see both of these guys play. He said Mays is better. Mays is the all-around player, but I don't think there's any question that Bonds is the best hitter in Giants history.
I'm going to move on to a guy who needs to be mentioned, Bobby Bonds, All-Star MVP, and he came within one stolen bag of a 40-40. Look at Bobby Bonds' career numbers. They're phenomenal. Nearly 400 career home runs, stolen base total through the charts, power, speed, defense.
He's my guy. He's my third outfielder.
Bobby Bonds
He is.
You're making the call.
Yeah, he is.
Herbs, we've gone all the way through the positions. We need a manager. We need a skipper on our all-time Giants 50-year roster. And let the games begin. Let the arguments begin. Dusty Baker, Roger Craig.
Boy, that's really difficult. Dusty had a higher winning percentage with the Giants. Granted, Craig, you know, inherited a terrible team and turned them around. But I just think Dusty, the players loved playing for him. He was a charismatic guy. It's a tough call. They're tough, too. But I'd just go with Dusty Baker. He won Manager of the Year 3 times. He won 2 division titles, got him to a wild card, got him to within a pitching change of the World Series. And I know Roger Craig took them to the World Series, too, but they got boat raced in that World Series. Dusty's team didn't.
Wow, now that is a roster. And with talent like that, it's no wonder Giants fans are the best around. And as we embark on our next 5 decades of baseball by the Bay, there's no doubt the orange and black faithful will be treated to many more legendary performances and unforgettable moments in San Francisco Giants history.
But the story tonight is JT Snow.
That's right, JT Snow, indeed, he is in the lineup. And guess what, folks? He has not made an out this year. He has been that good. So Snow is in the lineup. When we come back, we'll give you the entire lineups. And you'll see the first pitch after this.
The Chevy.
Take the field. We wait for JT Snow to take the field. And here they come. And JT Snow's lead them out. And we have Dodger players applauding JT Snow. How about that? Every infielder is throwing one in the dirt. There's another one. Now, will his old buddy Rich Aurilia do it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're not going to make it easy.
Hey, it's nice to know the tradition is alive and well as far as how do you treat an old teammate. Oh, I love it.
But watching him take ground balls during batting practice today, he really was 15 years old again. And everybody was watching him, and he did not disappoint. And he's a lot of people's hero. A great Giant. To qualify to get your name in the box score, you simply have to give the ball to the pitcher. And even if he doesn't throw a pitch and JT Snow comes off the field, he is in the official box score. And you'll see in tomorrow's paper.
Here comes Travis Ishikawa. And they're booing.
Good job, Ish. Good luck, buddy. Thank you. Okay, all right.
He just wanted to retire as a Giant, and tonight he gets his wish.
Pretty nice way of doing it. Plus, he doesn't even have a boiler yet.
I don't think he'll ever have one.
Flipped the ball to his son Shane, his wife Stacy, right next to Shane. Good stuff.